June 4th, 2008, 5:29 p.m. Aran is taking a shower, smiling for a camera.
He feels safe. He's vulnerable.
62 seconds later, he is fighting for his life. 27 stab wounds, a slit throat, a bullet to the head, and the only witness
Is the killer herself.
is a woman who claims she wasn't even there. Today, we step into the interrogation room with the master of deception, Jodi Arias.
And what we're stepping into is not just a crime scene, but a psychological study of a chameleon. We're really looking at a specimen who attempts to wear the skin of a victim while hiding the hands of a butcher.
It's terrifying.
It really is. It's a case study in narcissistic injury and the absolute terrifying collapse of a human being's moral architecture.
This is the Silent Dossier. Today, we are opening the file on one of the most, I think, enigmatic and disturbing cases of the 21st century.
Absolutely.
And we aren't here to just rehash the sensationalism, from the cable news cycle.
No, this is deeper than that.
We are here to look at the raw data, the forensic inconsistencies, and the behavioral anomalies that stripped away the mask of a sweet girlfriend to reveal a cold-blooded manipulator. We have the interrogation transcripts, the crime scene reports, the psych evils.
And the objective here really is deconstruction. We need to understand how someone can present as the girl next door. Soft-spoken, artistic, seemingly harmless,
Right.
and yet possess the capacity for a level of violence that shocked even veteran homicide detectives.
That transformation is the key, isn't it? It wasn't sudden.
No, it's a slow erosion of boundaries.
No.
But to understand the end, we have to look at the beginning, the profile of the subject. Jodi Arias, born 1980 in Salinas, California.
Right. And when we look at the background of offenders who are capable of this level of brutality, what is effectively overkill,
Yeah.
you usually expect to find some kind of burning fuse in childhood.
For sure, you're looking for the classic red flags.
We look for the McDonald triad: bedwetting, arson, cruelty to animals. We look for a rap sheet. But the dossier on Jodi Arias, prior to 2008, is surprisingly, silent.
That silence is, in itself, a critical data point. She was a high school dropout, 11th grade. She drifted through jobs, pursued photography without a lot of commercial success. But there were no significant red flags in the legal system.
No history of violent assault. Nothing.
Nothing. The defense later on would try to construct this narrative of severe childhood abuse to explain her psychology, but the objective behavioral sequences, the documented history, it just doesn't show a pattern of criminal aggression.
Which makes the violence of June 2008 even more jarring, even more shocking.
It does.
It suggests that this wasn't the result of some lifelong simmering pathology of violence that finally just boiled over. It was something else.
Exactly. It suggests the catalyst was a specific emotional trigger. So we have to look at the dynamic between the subject and the victim. She meets Travis Alexander in 2006.
At a prepaid legal conference in Las Vegas, of all places.
Of all places.
So let's set the stage on Travis Alexander. He's 28 years old. He's charismatic, successful, a practicing Mormon, and a motivational speaker.
Right. He's the guy on stage in the suit telling you that if you work hard and keep the faith, you can have it all. He projects stability and success.
And Jodi is in the audience.
She's the attendee. She's looking for direction, maybe looking for an identity to latch onto, and she falls hard. They date for about 5 months.
But here's the friction point. This is where the pathology really starts to show itself.
Yes. Jodi is in love, Travis is not. He ends the relationship.
I know. In a normal scenario, a breakup is painful. You cry, you listen to sad music, maybe you send a text you shouldn't, but you move on.
You move on. Jodi doesn't move on.
She moves physically. She relocates from California all the way to Mesa, Arizona.
And not just to the same city. She moves into a house just 2 blocks away from him.
2 blocks.
Yeah.
That is aggressive.
In forensic psychology, we would view that as a geographical declaration of intent. She is the masoneering herself into his perimeter.
She's erasing the boundary he tried to set.
Completely. And the dynamic shifts into something incredibly murky. Travis's friends start labeling her a stalker. She shows up unannounced. She's peering through windows. There are even allegations of slashed tires.
And this is the complexity that I think confuses a lot of people.
Yeah.
Travis keeps letting her back in.
He does.
He tells his friends he wants her out of his life, that she's crazy, but he continues to sleep with her.
It was a transaction of convenience and a really dangerous one. Travis used her for sex. Jodi used the sex to maintain a foothold in his life. It's a classic dysfunctional loop.
So she sees it as a relationship, he sees it as...
That's a convenience.
Yeah.
But you have to understand the mind of someone with high narcissistic traits. For Jodi, any connection Even a secret, shameful one where she's hidden from his real life is better than no connection at all.
She was writing her own reality.
Absolutely. Based on her diary entries, she believed they were destined to be together. She was just ignoring the rejection and focusing only on the access.
Until the access was threatened. May 2008. This really seems to be the tipping point.
It is.
Travis is planning a work retreat to Cancun, Mexico.
Yeah.
The high-status trip. And Jodi just assumes she is going. She's ready to pack her bags.
She views herself as the partner despite the breakup, despite everything.
And then, the hammer drops. Travis invites a woman named Mimi Hall instead.
This is it. This is the narcissistic injury. This is the precipitating event.
And we should define that. It's not just hurt feelings.
No, it's not just jealousy. For a narcissist, the ego is an incredibly fragile construct. So when Travis chose Mimi Hall, a woman he viewed as marriage material, a woman who fit his Mormon ideal, unlike Jodi, it wasn't just a rejection, it was an invalidation of Jodi's entire existence.
It completely shattered the reality she was writing in her head.
Completely. It confirms she is not the one, she is the dirty little secret. And in the mind of the subject, this humiliation cannot stand. The rage that follows is about the annihilation of the ego.
And the narrative shifts.
The psychological pivot happens right there. The internal narrative shifts from, I want to be with him, to, if I can't have him and he has humiliated me, then he ceases to have the right to exist.
So the clock starts ticking toward murder. June 4th, 2008. 6 days before that Cancun trip, Jodi drives to Mesa.
And she does it like a covert operation. She rents a car in a different town, she dyes her hair, she buys gas cans so she doesn't have to stop at gas stations.
She doesn't want to be on any security cameras.
Exactly. She shows up at his house, and yet they fall right back into the old pattern. They have sex, they take explicit photos, it seems like a normal, albeit toxic, hookup.
It's the calm before the slaughter. And the digital evidence from this day is just, it's haunting. We have the camera. Travis's new digital camera.
Found in the washing machine at the crime scene.
That detail, the camera in the washing machine, is such a clumsy attempt at forensic countermeasures.
It is. Jodi likely ran the camera through a wash cycle, assuming the water and the physical tumbling would destroy the images inside.
She thought she could just wash away the digital footprint.
It reveals a total lack of technical sophistication. She didn't understand that flash memory is incredibly resilient. The police recovered everything, and what they recovered gives us a time-stamped roadmap of the murder.
We have photos of them together, in bed, intimate, smiling. Then, at 5:00 p.m., photos of Travis in the shower. He's looking at the camera. He's posing for her.
And you have to look at the psychology of the victim in those images. He's naked, he's wet, he's sitting in a glass box. He is completely, utterly vulnerable.
He's smiling.
He's smiling, he feels safe. That is the ultimate tragedy of it. He has no idea that the woman holding the camera has already decided that he isn't leaving that bathroom alive.
And then the sequence breaks. The camera drops. We have a photo of the ceiling. It's just a blur.
The attack has begun.
And then the final photo. A photo of the floor showing Jodi's foot, and in the corner, Travis, bleeding, deceased. He's been dragged.
The time elapsed between the photo of the ceiling, the start of the attack, and that photo of the bloody aftermath is exactly 62 seconds.
We are going to break down those 62 seconds in detail later, because that single minute is where her entire defense it falls apart.
It absolutely does.
But first, let's look at what happens immediately after. She cleans up, and then she leaves a voicemail on his phone while she's driving away.
Classic alibi construction. She calls him and leaves this breezy, casual message. Hey, just checking in, hope you're good. She is creating a digital artifact that says, I am not there, I am a concerned friend.
And then she drives to Utah to see another man, Ryan Burns.
She arrives in Utah, she acts completely normal, she sleeps with him, they watch movies. This is what we call affective flattening or extreme compartmentalization.
How is that even possible?
Most people, having just committed an act of extreme violence, would be in physiological shock tremors, vomiting, inability to focus, but Jodi just switches off the murderer track and switches on the girlfriend track.
It's chilling.
It suggests a chilling ability to detach from the reality of her actions. She feels no residual horror because, to her, the problem, Travis, has been resolved.
Travis is found 5 days later by friends. The condition of the body is horrific. Jodi is arrested at her grandparents' house in California. And now we enter the noir film. We step into the interrogation room with Detective Esteban Flores.
This interrogation is a masterclass in psychological warfare, but notice Jodi's persona from the moment she walks in.
She doesn't come in screaming. She She doesn't lawyer up.
No, she adopts the persona. She is soft-spoken, she wears glasses. She looks like a librarian or a Sunday school teacher. She is playing the harmless girl next door.
It is so unnerving to watch. There is this specific moment where she is left alone in the room. You'd expect someone facing a murder charge to be pacing, crying, maybe praying.
Anything but what she does.
Jodi, she does handstands.
Handstands. In an interrogation room.
She examines the trash can, she sings to herself, and then the sea lion pose.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
She hears the door handle turn, and she just scampers over to the table and peeks over the edge like a curious child.
It is hyper-arousal masquerading as calm. She is trying to regulate her own nervous system, but she is also performing. She wants Detective Flores to see her as childlike, innocent.
The subtext is obvious.
The subtext she is projecting is, how could a girl who does playful handstands and peeks over tables like a puppy possibly butcher a man? It's a manipulation of the investigator's perception. She's treating the interrogation like a date she needs to win.
And she's obsessed with the voice recorder. She keeps asking, is that on? Does it have batteries?
She wants to appear transparent. Look, I'm helping you with the technology, but it betrays her anxiety. She is hyper-aware of the record. She's trying to control the narrative, but she's doing it with the sophistication of a teenager, not a criminal mastermind.
Let's talk about her speech patterns.
Yeah.
Flores asks her about the murder, about the timeline, and Jodi, she goes to IHOP.
Tangential speech. It's a very common defense mechanism. Flores asks a hard question about the gun or the knife, and Jodi pivots to a story about a sweet Mexican tow truck driver who took her to IHOP because she was hungry.
Or she talks about Doggy Boy.
Right, a dog she kicked in high school and felt bad about.
She's talking about a dog she kicked 10 years ago while sitting in a room for a first-degree murder investigation. Why?
It's escapism. If she talks about the dog, she isn't talking about the knife. If she talks about IHOP, she isn't talking about the gun. It is denial. She is delaying the collision with reality.
And trying to build character.
She's also trying to signal moral character. I felt bad about kicking a dog, so I couldn't possibly kill a man. It is such a clumsy attempt to build a character witness for herself, by herself.
Flores plays the good cop. He's patient, he lets her ramble. But then we get the bad cop, Detective Rachel Blaney. And the vibe shifts instantly.
Blaney is the enemy. She refuses to buy the sweet girl act. She mocks Jodi's intelligence. She attacks her character. And you can just watch Jodi's reaction.
She shuts it down.
She completely shuts down. We call this the tortoiseshell reaction. She withdraws. She refuses to engage with the female authoritarian because the female sees through the mask. She wants the male approval. She wants to help Flores, but she walls off Blaney completely.
The interrogation spans hours. And the lies. They just evolve. It's like watching a script being rewritten in real time as the previous drafts get rejected.
It is a chess match where Jodi is losing pieces but just refuses to resign.
So line number 1, total denial. I wasn't even in Mesa. I was on a road trip to Utah.
The lost in the desert defense. She claimed she got lost, slept in her car, her phone died. But the forensics? They just destroy this.
Completely.
Her DNA is mixed with Travis's blood. Her hair is on the wall. Her bloody palm print is on the wall.
Flores confronts her. He says, we have the pictures, Jodi. We have the DNA. And you can almost see the wheels turning in her head.
She realizes the I wasn't there story is dead on arrival. So she pivots.
Line number 2, the ninja story.
This is probably the most absurd fabrication in the entire dossier. She claims 2 intruders masked, 1 male, 1 female broke in. They attack Travis. And they let her live.
Because that makes perfect sense. A professional hit squad leaves a single witness behind.
And not just leaves a witness, but gives her a deal. She claims they told her, if you tell anyone, we will kill your family. And this is her explanation for why she didn't call 911.
She was protecting her family.
By letting her lover's killers get away.
She even wrote a fake condolence letter to Travis's family while she was in custody to sell this story. She's sitting in jail, knowing she killed him, writing to his grandmother saying, I hope they catch the people who did this.
It creates a buffer for her psyche. If she writes the letter, she can pretend for just a moment that the ninja story is real, it is pathological. But of course, the ninja story doesn't hold water. The state seeks the death penalty. The evidence is overwhelming, so by the time the trial comes...
We get line number 3. Self-defense.
Exactly. The ninja story vanishes. Now she admits she did it, but she claims she had to. She claims Travis was an abusive monster who tried to kill her.
This is the pivot to the battered woman defense. But the forensics are stubborn things.
They are. And this brings us right back to the timeline.
Let's break down the 62 seconds. This is the core of the forensic impossibility. We have the ceiling photo, the start of the altercation. And 62 seconds later, the photo of Travis bleeding on the floor.
In her testimony, Jodi claims the following sequence happened in that minute. Travis body slammed her, she rolled away, she ran down the hall, she went into the closet, she climbed the shelves to retrieve a gun she claimed was hidden there, she ran back, she pointed the gun, Travis lunged, the gun went off, he tackled her, the linebacker moved, she broke free, he screamed threats, she ran to get a knife, she returned, she killed him.
All of that in 62 seconds.
It's just physically impossible. I mean, even an Olympic athlete couldn't execute that sequence of movement, struggle, and retrieval in 1 minute and 2 seconds. The timeline is the silent witness that screams, liar.
And the nature of the wounds. We have 27 stab wounds, a slit throat, a gunshot to the head. The order of these wounds matters immensely, doesn't it?
Precisely. Jodi claimed the gunshot happened first, an accidental discharge during the struggle. But the medical examiner and the blood evidence suggest otherwise. The lack of hemorrhage along the bullet track suggests Travis was already dead or dying when he was shot.
So the gunshot wasn't the start of it. It was the coup de grace.
It was likely the last thing that happened. The prosecution argued the throat was slit after the stabbings to silence him. The stabbing was the frenzy, the pure rage. The throat slit was the execution. The gunshot was the finality.
That doesn't sound like a frantic struggle for life.
No, it paints a picture of overkill. This wasn't just about stopping a threat, it was about obliterating the person.
And to explain the gaps, she claimed she had a fog come over her, the fog of war. She remembers the body slam, she remembers the gun, but the actual stabbing, it's a blank.
Convenient amnesia, it's a very common tactic in forensic interviews. I snapped. It allows the defendant to dissociate from the gruesome reality of their actions. She doesn't want to admit to the sensation of the knife in her hand. She wants to skip to the part where she is the survivor.
So now we move to the courtroom, the trial. This was a spectacle, but looking at it as a dossier, it was a character assassination of the victim.
Narcissistic preservation. If she is going to be convicted, she's going to take his reputation down with her. She claimed Travis was a pedophile. She claimed he looked at inappropriate images on his computer.
And the Spider-Man detail.
So bizarre. She claimed Travis wanted her to wear Spider-Man underwear to satisfy some deviant urge related to a child he knew.
Was there any evidence of that?
Zero. Zero evidence for this on his computer or in his journals. It was a complete fabrication designed to make the jury disgusted by the victim. She tried to make Travis a monster so that killing him looked like a public service.
There was that surreal moment in court, the linebacker demonstration. The prosecutor, Juan Martinez, is cross-examining her. He challenges her story about Travis tackling her, and Jodi gets out of the witness chair.
It was pure theater. She crouches down, she mimics a tackle, but it completely backfired. It just highlighted the absurdity of her story.
How so?
Well, she claims this massive man tackled her, yet she, a petite woman, managed to break free, run away, get a knife, and then overpower him without sustaining a single significant injury herself.
Right, she had, a cut on her finger? That was it.
A small cut. Defensive wounds usually appear on the palms, the forearms of the victim. Travis had those. He was clearly fighting for his life. Jodi had nothing consistent with a life-or-death brawl against a linebacker-sized man.
The prosecutor, Martinez, he was relentless. He hammered the timeline. Remember him asking, "You turned your back on a threat?"
That was the crucial question. She claimed she ran into the closet to get the gun. To do that, she had to turn her back on the man she claimed was trying to kill her.
Which makes no sense.
If you are terrified, you don't turn your back. You back away. You keep your eyes on the threat. Her story defied the logic of basic survival instincts.
The jury didn't buy it. Verdict: guilty of first-degree murder. Premeditated. Cruel.
And then you have to look at the reaction to the verdict.
Yeah.
Or the lack thereof.
Shock for maybe a second. Then this rapid recovery. Almost nothing.
Effective flattening again. But before the verdict, she gave that interview where she said, "No jury will convict me."
That's the narcissism talking.
It is. She genuinely believed she could charm 12 jurors the way she tried to charm Detective Flores. She believed her sweet girl mask was impenetrable.
And when it was penetrated, when she was convicted, she releases a statement about Travis's family. Not an apology, but
"I see the man that abused me." She refused to grant them peace, even in defeat. She had to assert her narrative. She had to be the victim.
it's unbelievable.
This is why I call her a specimen. She is incapable of genuine remorse because remorse requires empathy, and in her mind, she is the only person who actually exists. Everyone else, Travis, his family, the jury, they're just actors in the movie of her life.
She was sentenced to life in prison without parole. The girl next door is now inmate 2811229.
The dossier is closed, but the psychological footprint of this case remains. It forces us to question how well we really know the people we let into our lives. How thin is the veneer of sanity?
That brings us to the end of this deep dive. Jodi Arias didn't just kill Travis Alexander. She tried to kill his reputation. She tried to rewrite history.
She did.
But in the end, the only thing she murdered was her own future.
And perhaps she murdered the illusion that evil always looks like a monster. Sometimes it looks like a girl doing handstands in an interrogation room.
The dossier remains closed. For now.